Hi folks, I hope you're well. So, from the last videos, yeah, the reality is, do I have hope for these churches? As I said before, no. Well, I'll ask you a question. Pretty simple question to understand and answer. At what point since the Jewish people said they didn't really want God, they wanted a king, have they actually gone back to God? Never. Never happened. They've gone from disaster to disaster to disaster to disaster to disaster. And they've never gone back to God. After the Holocaust, what did they want? They wanted to be part of the United Nations. They didn't want God. They wanted the world, more of the world. Yeah, they wanted to be part of Europe. Yeah, they want to please America. They want to please Britain. They want to please Europe. They want to please. They have a history of having God, and yet they still haven't gone back to God. So the reality is, the world right now has the church. The church did exactly the same as God's first people. They made the same decisions. They wanted to do things according to the world. Why? Because it's a damn sight bloody easier. Yeah, for church, with your relationship with God just being, you go to church on Sunday. You might go to a midweek meeting. That's it. That's a difference. You give God a shopping list. Yeah, when you want things. There you go. For most people, yeah. And then again, for other people in church, what they do is they go to the world for solutions. Eventually, they get the solution, and then they say that was God doing it. That way, they can make themselves believe that they're doing things according to God. But they're not. So again, why would these people want to change? That's the point. Hope. If you have hope for the church, it means you have hope for the people in church to realize their ways and to be willing to change. No. I have no hope for that at all, because why would there be? Why would they be willing to change? Why would they be in the situation of realizing the wrong of their ways? They won't. They can't. They can't do that. It is just not something that they can do. So, what you can do, really, is just say, okay, you just lead them to it. Well, as I said before, the Anglican Church shouldn't exist. The Baptist Church shouldn't exist. It shouldn't. The Roman Catholic Church shouldn't exist. But they do. Why? Because people like what they got. When God created Baptist Church, all those other churches before it should have ended. They should have become Baptist. They didn't. Then when God created the Pentecostal Church, the same thing. So when God does what he's doing now, will people change to that? No. Go back and listen to the videos that I did when I left the River Church in Elgin. There was relief. I felt incredibly blessed that I wouldn't have to go back there. Because these places are horrendous. They are really, really, really poor. Anyone of God that goes into a place like the River Church in Elgin would be horrified. Absolutely horrified at what they see. But that's the point. Right now, the people in the church are happy with that. This is what they want. It's easy. For most people, it's easy. And so therefore, that's what they want. They want easy. Because most people have a hard life. They don't want church to be the difficult thing. They want church to be the easy thing. That's why we've got safe space churches. And that's why, well, for the Pentecostal church, Rick, yeah, he voted for Trump because he thought Trump would make the America better for the church. Easier for the church. He voted for Trump because he thought he'd make it easier. That's what he said. That was his words. That's our understanding. The way for the church should be easy. Now, again, that's why I say, are you going to have Bible-based church when they think this way? Well, no, because if that church is speaking about, when the Lord was speaking about the paths, the path to heaven, the path to hell, are they going to read that? No, not really. They're going to read it and they're going to give their own understanding of it, and they're going to make bloody sure that people don't understand that the way to heaven is the hard path. Oh, no. They would say that they're on the hard path, even though the whole idea that church should be a safe space makes it pretty obvious it's a wide path, isn't it, really? Not a narrow one. Because, really, the wider path is a lot safer than the narrow one, isn't it? Come on. We should all understand that, shouldn't we? Do they? No. But there you go. It is what it is. And I say, I understand why people in church don't bring a Bible. Certainly to other things they come to. They don't bring a Bible. And I understand completely why. Because reading it must be very confusing. To see what it says in there and to see how you've chosen to live your life and how you've chosen to do things and telling people this is God's way, how you do things. Yeah. Reading the Bible must be really difficult. Yeah. Anyway. Well, there you go. I wish you well. You take care. God bless. I'll speak to you soon. And yeah. Focus on relationship with God.